Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new series called Wicso. I've done a few test episodes for this. You've probably watched them. There's good odds you've watched them, and there's also bad odds too. So, actually, uh, you don't have to watch those because they're just test outs. And let's get started. We have our first civilization right here, with their capital right here, and these being all their major all of these being their major cities. Yep, they have a lot of major cities, at least right now. And now these guys are going to be exploring a little out here mainly. And yeah, the next thing they do is going to be discovering Qatar, which I think I'm going to actually show you how I do this. I had the background on a different layer than the map, than the countries, so I can just show you the blank map sometimes in some episodes, and most of the time I'm going to have the background on, though, just because it's necessary for the video quality. Hope that explains that. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting better with doing these videos as I'm learning how to do a little more of a better way than I have been doing them in previous episodes, the previous test episodes, because the test episodes, I was planning on making that the actual series, to be real with you. I was planning that to be the actual series, but I got so annoyed with it, I just quit it, and I'm making this now. And I am liking doing this way more right now. And having all the functions I can just turn on and off. Unlike on the old map, well, it's the same map, just unlike on the old series, rather. Unlike in the old series, I like this one way better because of that reason, and because of other reasons I just can't get into. And yeah, I can get into it, but I don't want to right now. There's nothing forbidding me from going into it. I don't forbid myself from going into it, but I just don't want to make this video like 2 hours long. And I already hate the red team borders. Let me just fix this. Better. Better. Way better. I got to admit, this is way better. And I figured out how to turn off that thing that happens when you zoom. Like this. Yeah, I figured out how to turn that off. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I would have been driven crazy by the series by now already. And yeah, the stability of the red team is going a little downhill as over a few years the stability goes down to, funny enough, a red color. But this isn't the permanent color. I'm gonna keep it because soon after that it goes down to dark red stability, which you know what dark red means in other series, right? They're collapse. They're collapsing. Now, who's rebelling? I haven't shown you the rebellions yet. I will show you in a second, okay? Great. Now, here's the rebellion. This blue team is going to be rebelling And I'm just going to show you the capital layer real quick. So I'm going to be drawing on this layer, right? Turn off the civilizations layer. Yep, it works. I'm going to draw on this layer. And they're quickly invading. And they're probably going to get full occupation of the capital soon. With the rate they're going, they connected up both their pockets. Now, why are they rebelling? They're kind of like poor, the poorest regions, the undeveloped regions. Well, these guys are. But these guys, they're pretty developed. Because these guys actually started over here. Fun fact. I I didn't show the like early days, but they started all the way down here, this point, which I'm gonna call a little unoriginal, but the point of humanity. And this, and over here, these guys rebel over here, and the capital is taken. Now you may be wondering what type of government does this country have? It's an aristocracy. Yeah, a coup d'état came to the capital and just took out the uh, the majority of the aristocrats, and the other ones fled to these islands right down here. This island and this one. They flee here, and eventually the blue team finds them on these islands. The islands aren't safe for them. And yeah, they don't know of any other territory in the whole world. They don't know about this. They only know about the white areas. And I just thought of something. I need to work on a naval exploration app. That will be implemented and then implemented. Why can't I speak English? Ah, I literally can't speak today. And now they're spearheading over here to cut the country in two before the red team finally just surrenders over to the blue team because they realize they can't hold on anymore to this area they own. They can't hold on to this. Yeah, they can't hold on to it. Now, I am going to be going to do the peace treaty, so I'll be right back. And see you then, okay? Bye bye. See you then. Well, it'll just be a cut for you. Okay, great. I have came up with this as the peace treaty. The red team owns this and the blue team owns this. Great. Looks amazing, right? Yeah. You better be saying yeah. I see you, Billy. You're not saying yeah. That's a problem. What can I do to make you say yeah? Billy. $1 million in a lamb. Never mind. Anyway, I'm going to be having the red team. Just so you know, this land is explored, but I didn't show the exploration of it. So, my bad. And the red team is going to be taking out all of this territory that's explored. This is going to be a lot of province updating after this episode. I'm so happy about that. No, I'm not. Oh, you heard that? Crud. No, I'm really not. I'm really happy to do it. I think I'm doing a service to do it. And yeah, this is looking good so far. Yeah. The red team's probably going to have themselves actually expand up into Persia in the future. If anything, I see the future the red team probably being up here in Persia because they're blocked off by the blue team now over down here. So where else are they supposed to go? Yeah, where else are they supposed to go? Right over here? No, obviously not. Where else are they supposed to go? They're not traveling it all the way over to India. They're sure as heck not fleeing to Madagascar. Well, they could probably flee to Somalia, but that's besides the point. Like, they could do that like the one from my test Wicso. But you probably haven't watched that, I'm assuming, because the majority of my viewers are actually new viewers. That's not really a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know what to classify it as, good thing or a bad thing. Anyway, the rest of this video is going to be exploration. Exploration, really good. Right now, they're going right into the middle of a desert, I think. So, yay. Well, just some brave guy from the blue team named Arthur just went out here and was brave and colonized all this. We we commend to you, Arthur. Now, where is Arthur going next? So Arthur is just like a just like the goal for blue team people to be like Arthur when expansion, like the expansion forces people want to be like him. The guy who explored all of this desert area, I believe that it's desert. I believe that that's desert. At least I got that information from Aegis Proswick, so not that you can fact check me. I'm wrong because I haven't learned about geography as I have American map syndrome. Basically, I'm American and they don't teach us anything about mapping, so yeah, I have to learn this myself. And we also don't deal with realities well, so that's why this is happening. This is why the desert's getting explored because there's no realism at all in this series. Realism is banned in this series, just so you know. It's banned. If anybody allows us a little bit of realism into the series, you're getting booted out of here. Well, I can't boot you for watching my videos. You'd have to boot yourself for me. Please, and thank you. Anyway, the red team has explored all of this in the modern day. This might be valuable land to have in modern day. Like what I mean by modern day is like 2000s in like the 1900s. So yeah, not too far, not too far off. Yeah. Anyway, something extraordinary happens as a new group is found. Not like, not like one of these groups. No, these guys just ran into them one day. They found them out here. They're just like this color, and they seem tribal in a way. They're like tribal in a way, so they're not really the like best civilization to be friends with, but they're actually not going to be too friendly with anyone. In fact, no one likes them. From the moment they're found, they're not liked. So yeah, sucks for you, buddy. But anyway, these guys explore some more in Arabia. Soon they might be able to explore some more. Anyway, I'm gonna check how long this episode is. 15 minutes recording. Okay. 15 minutes of content that's making it into the episode. And people. Okay, I'm 15 minutes into recording this, but I've spent a little more than 15 minutes doing stuff like borders, drawing borders and treaties and stuff. And I'll tell you, watching Wicso and doing Wicso are two completely different things. It's like saying, well, I I do drugs and I see people do drugs. Well, don't do them. Just just to just to just to say don't do those. They're bad for you. They're extremely bad. Don't do them, please. I'm just doing that as a warning, so I don't get like ousted by YouTube. YouTube just comes over here and says we're blocking people from viewing your video. No. Yeah. Bye bye, buddy. It's really bad. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. And guitar over here is expanding. Uh, guitar is going. Well, I'm just gonna call it the Qatari country. In the future, they're probably going to be called something else one day. I might as well just call. I might call these guys Arabia. These guys might be like Oman and these guys UAE. They're probably gonna move their capital. No, next episode, I'm telling you they might move their capital. Though that's if under very certain conditions called me not forgetting. Very tough to do. So yeah, their capital will probably stay the same. And there's a new nation forming up the purple team. They just blocked off the blue team as well. They're kind of just like a block to the blue team expansion, which annoys the blue team a lot because why did you have to do that, man? What? That's not cool. That's not cool, man. Now we're blocked off like how we did the red team. And meanwhile, we gotta talk about the red team. The red team is really like been on their like arc of just leave us alone, don't bother us, and we won't bother you. Yeah, so the red team has just been on this peaceful arc, and these guys now are going to be taking over more of this not so valuable land, like Saudi Arabia area. And yeah, these guys are probably going to be a big power in the future. I'm going to predict that I make them a big power, or I might make like the red team a trade empire. Who knows? Or the blue team could just explode into a million pieces in the next episode. Might also be spoiling that. I might actually be spoiling something. I probably might have actually spoiled something in there. I might actually do one of those things. Like making the lab team the strongest country in the world. Guess which one I might do? making the Lime Team the strongest country in the world, the Red Team a trade empire, or best of all, the Blue Team collapsing into a million pieces in the next episode. Great. Now these guys are just still going. They're desert nomads, I think, or something. Or they just want all this invaluable land. No, they want farmland. And you may be wondering why I'm coloring this in. I'll be telling you in a second. Wait, no. They're not an egg. There is, however, a new nation up here. They look to be around the strength of the red team, like right after the revolution, right after the blue team revolution. So they're pretty not strong, though pretty weak. Though they're going to probably be a little stronger later on in the series. They might get stronger later on. Anyway, they link up with the green with the lime team, and they're like, "Who are you?" And they're like, "Doo-doo-doo." Their brains stopped working. They don't know who these guys are and what they want. So they immediately plan for the worst, doomsday, but instead of that happening, to the doomsday, nothing happens. The green team's like, what? And they send their leader to the yellow team. And they're like, hi. And I'm actually going to shift their color to this color. But yeah, they're going to be this color actually. Because their capital is going to be impossible to see on the map eventually. Like when that happens, the capital is going to be like so visible. And now this looks even more like an egg, dude. It's fine. It'll look better when the exploration is away from them. When they are blocked off from expansion and exploration. If they ever are. Of course, well, they'll eventually be. And what exploration they will not look like an egg. Yay. Yeah, so the yellow team is just a lore drop on them. They're kind of like, they're like a dictatorship. They're a dictatorship that the people don't really like their government. I have to remember that. The people don't like them. Because their leader's kind of like a whiny little baby. Because their leader complains about everything that his people do. He even complains about the just like messing up his bread service that he gets wheat from the people because they're so thankful for him, quote unquote. I was doing like they just quote unquote thankful for it. Yeah, quickly you can realize that they're not thankful for it. And now these civilizations are expanding around the map. Now, the Lime Team, one thing to know about them, they're very skeptical about everything. Like their leader is paranoid as could be. Like Kim Jong Un level, uh, of paranoia but on steroids. That on steroids. Don't do steroids. Just get it the natural way. Great. Just making sure I don't get any like warnings from YouTube. Because I hear people like saying that in their videos all the time, and I just want to make sure because I don't know how like much the YouTube moderation will moderate you for this. For doing certain things. So yeah, just making sure. Anyway, I have like a different style than the like big Wicso YouTubers. That's raw, unedited videos mostly. That's because I don't have any editing software. I need that to change fast. I need that to change soon. Anyway, yeah. Also, I gotta talk about my poor upload schedule. I mean, side tangent. Yeah, my upload schedule is not that good. If you just check my channel, like, see, I just uploaded. Oh, he uploaded. Tyler uploaded. Yeah, my name's Tyler. If I haven't mentioned that, I think I have mentioned that a couple times before. But yeah, like, oh no, oh yeah, I gotta clear my calendar. Tyler just uploaded. No one does that, by the way, because if you don't see, I only have 68 subscribers. Pathetic. Yeah, I'm just a small YouTuber, see. And immediately, this yellow team is just expanding. Yeah, I'm done with that side changing. Yeah, and the yellow team is just getting strong. The yellow team is starting to seem like they're stronger than they're. Sorry if there's any background noise. I apologize for that if there is because I can hear a vacuum in the background. Not too close to me. No far away. Or if you can hear the fans on my computer. Because I've been recording for a while. And yeah, they look like really big and strong. They're starting to not look like an egg anymore because of their size. It's just making them not look like an egg anymore, but thank goodness for that. They don't look like an egg anymore. Though now, the Middle East is starting to get more and more explored. The beginning of this episode was at a slow pace, but the pacing has been getting faster. I think the pacing has gotten a little faster since the beginning of the episode because we are all the way over here, probably because I've been doing less detail things. And now, an explorer from the yellow team named John Wiseman lands over here in Cyprus. Now, what's so interesting about this? This is really one of the first big name. This is the biggest naval voyage they've made. I believe bigger than this one because it's only there to there. That's there to there. So yeah, this is the biggest naval voyage the world has made so far. by John Wiseman. It's going pretty well, and people are saying there's locals over here, and the locals are are thriving on their own, though yellow team people are harassing them and even beating some of them because they can't do that to other people at home. Well, so these guys declare themselves independent from the just terrors that the yellow team has been doing. And Cyprus takes this. I believe that was the last event of the video. Yeah. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. Wicso number 1. Now, this nation is going to be really poor inside of Africa. There's 2 nations. One nation has explored over here. Okay, I'm just kidding about that. I'll see you in the next episode, which will hopefully come out soon. And goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.